Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, welcome to the final episode of this build. This is a baritone semi-hollow instrument. I'm loving the weight, I'm loving the shape. In the last episode I slightly adjusted the design. I love the smell. This redwood is just delicious. But a combination of redwood and torrefied sycamore has really done it for me. Burn it. Perfect! I am going to be putting the hardware in place, wiring her up, looking at these incredible pickups from House of Tone. Matt is a genius, and well, we'll hear the instrument. At this stage, I am starting to feel good about everything. Now, in the very first video in this series, I unboxed a set of pickups made for us by Matt over at House of Tone. He is, in my opinion, the best pickup maker that we have in the UK, or at the very least, one of the best. And it's just mind-blowing. It is not only the fact that he makes incredible pickups, which he does, it is the sheer breadth of knowledge and the sheer level of utter geekery that he has. I very much suggest that if you're building guitars and you want a really nice set of pickups, give them a call. This is not sponsored, he just donated a set of pickups because this was for, this build was to raise money for Ukraine. And yeah, he's a nice guy. And thusly deserves our support. I asked for nickel-plated pickups because I thought that that would best match this incredibly cool hardware that we have here. In reality, that's not what happened. What I have here is two boxes. These are the ones that arrived. And you can see the nickel is a completely different color. There we go. You can see the nickel, it just doesn't work. This is a chrome, a silvery chrome, and I was wrong. These pickups are going to end up on something else at some point in the not too distant future. But friend of the channel, Mark Jennings, just happened to have the exact same set of pickups, but in chrome. And while they are shiny and a little bit dusty, they match a lot better. And Mark, being another gentleman, sent these over and said, you use these and go for it. So we've now had, for this build, 2 sets of pickups donated. And we need to figure out what I'm going to do with the initial set. But, well, for now, we need to put this guitar together. I am going to use pickup rings, pickup surrounds, and the first thing I'm going to do is make those pickup surrounds not look like plastic. Mark Jennings just sent a super chat and said, pretty pickups. Thank you very much for the pretty pickups. You are a gentleman. I'm going to hit one of these with a fret rubber. Hold on. I can hear you going, no. Okay, super fine fret rubber. I'm just going to hit the side of the pickup and low down where you're not actually going to see it, just to see if I can mat this chrome down. I don't think I will be able to. I take it back. I would, but I'm not going to. Essentially, without taking the covers off the pickups, I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. But yes, if you have got chrome-covered pickups or want pickup covers that match this and you're not going to be buying them via Goto, you can use a super fine fret rubber to achieve a fairly similar color. There you go, you can just make it out. if I spent some time, I could get a much closer match. I suspect what they've got is they've got a really thick chrome plating on this hardware, and they've put it through a fine tumbler to get this sort of shiny silvery matte finish. That's what I suspect is going on here. I need some pickup surrounds. So I need pickup surrounds. Oh, here we go. Nope, she's too tall. That's what the issue is. At this stage, what I want to do is chop down this incredibly meaty humbucker surround and make it shorter. So bear with me. There you go. That's where I want to be. Look at that. I managed to create a whole job that none of us saw coming at zero notice. Now remember, I'm going to be matting this down. I don't want it to look like shiny plastic, so I'm not worried about slipping and file marks and all of that. So I'm cutting at an angle. Prepared properly for this. Anyway. Oh, there we go, I've broken that. Okay, so at that point, we change up and see about putting it in a vise, because remember, I'm going to be matting this down in any case, and using a standard saw. Let's see what we've got. This is a fret slotting saw. Yeah, that's much easier. But where there's a will, there is a way. There we go. So this is 90% there. Ooh. Yeah, the fine side of the Shinto does that quite nicely. Onto the coarse leveling beam, and it'll be like nothing ever happened, nothing went wrong, we'll be all good. This is all good. That's 600 grit. So yeah, I don't want shiny black plastic. Or at least shiny black plastic surrounds. The pickups do have plastic in the center of them, but that looks all right. That looks all right because it's surrounded by oodles and oodles of chrome. So I'm just hitting this with 600 grit, wet and dry, and we're going from super shiny, which is difficult to film, to super not shiny. Oh yes, that's the stuff. I have now managed to make this matte plastic look like ebony now, rather, well, except for the edges. I haven't quite finished, but I've been going the length of the pickup surround, except for the end, where I've been going sideways. Now the final thing is for me to go like that, so that it looks like wood grain going waterfalling over the edge, rather than somebody who sanded some plastic. Sanding blocks, very required. Necessary. Normally it wouldn't have been necessary, really, to do this to a pickup surround, but in this case it absolutely was. It doesn't quite match the ebony yet, but I'm going to hit it with some guitar finishing oil in a second. I will fix that. So here we go. We've got two matte pickup surrounds now. They are not quite matching the look that I want just yet. Guitar finishing oil it is. It's wiping off sawdust and giving me a little bit of a finish. And I'm not sure how many people would ever consider putting a finish of any sort on plastic. I do think that I must be somewhat insane. Slightly darker. And much closer to what the fretboard looks like. There we go. Okay, I'm really happy with how these have turned out. It works with the sort of semi-matte feel we've got of this hardware, and you know, the whole thing's working for me. So it's time to put the pickups together. It feels like we're making progress. Isn't that great? Okay, here's the neck. We completely forgot to drill the hole connecting the pickup cavities because I suck. I don't like drilling from the bridge pickup to the neck pickup if I can help it. I'd rather avoid that. So let's do this quickly then. It actually all comes down to the fact I don't want to move that damn bridge again. And there we go. So I need to feed this piece of wire through from this side where it's going to be easy to access that hole and solder it to the pickup wire and then pull the pickup wire through. And I'm going to hold the plastic sheathed bit of wire rather than the metal one for obvious reasons. There we go. At this stage, I want to put some strings on. I picked up two sets, 13 to 62 cents. There we go. That's what I did. So the winds on the thick baritone string are too coarse for the available hole, so I'm gonna have to drill that out. One of the other cool things that I thought about this Goto stuff is that it looks like they've got a hardened steel insert inside there, and I was wondering about that. It turns out I'm going to see if I can drill it now. Woohoo! Now when you're drilling out something like this, you want to go up in small increments. It looks like a 2mm hole. I'm going up to 2.5 millimeters, and just in case I get swarf in me eyeballs, I'm going to do it this way. So you've got inserts in. I think it's iron rather than aluminium, potentially. But I drilled through it very easily. So there we go. There we go. This is a really thick string. There we go. This feels so weird to me. I spend so much time with guitars rather than baritones. The whole tension, how easy it is to tune, just feels strange. I like it a lot. Okay, now, my nut slots have not been cut. I'm going to do that quickly. The strings are sorting themselves out. It's got a 56, which is slightly smaller than the 62 I want. So I'm going to use that to start it off. And then running the safe edge of this type of file, you can make the slot wider. And that worked quite well. I am not going to take this all the way down to final fit and finish. I'm interested to see what the neck does. I'm interested to see what happens over the next week, and I'll come back and set it up after that. We've been going for nearly 7 hours now, but it is all good. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with black screws. This is something that I think Terry suggested earlier. But anyway, yes, the 1.5mm drill will do nicely. Now this is a very soft top underneath a relatively delicate finish. Well, not quite delicate, let's say thin. This is going to be a guitar that that ages relatively rapidly. It's going to get dents and scratches and playing marks, and it's going to, in short order, look like it came pre-relicked. I've got one pickup in place. I'm happy with everything going on there, but I do need to line up the other. We are roughly there. Strap buttons. And there we have it. Now there's no crazy electronics going on here. Standard volume tone 3-way toggle. I don't even have the ability to coil split this particular set of pickups. Not that that wasn't an option when they were ordered, it just wasn't required. Oh, I can still smell the roasted sycamore from where I drilled the holes. I do love that smell. Now I think I'm going to have to make the hole for the 3-way toggle bigger. So those two are in place. Now we might as well put the control knobs on. Yes, the wood drill is going backward. I'm just going to put that on that vise there and install the other one, which does appear to have been drilled out to the right size. So if you line it up so that the grub screw will sit in the slot, then it tends to work better. Okay, that's cooled down now. Oh, I like those a lot. Looky. There we go. How's that? The added scale length really does actually throw me for a 6. So, first thing to do is go in with the soldering iron and tin every single area where we're going to need to add any soldering. And then essentially just hit the lug and get some solder on there. I want to run an earth so this is the bridge earth, and I'm going to go from there to the volume, from the volume to the tone, and to here, and then from there to the part, or do I want to do it the other way around? I would star out, I suppose. Okay, since we have the big unit who is a university lecturer in electronics and safety and all that, and he specifically said that it is always better to earth the Faraday cage, so the shielding paint should be earthed to the system explicitly. Normally I just trust the fact that the back of the pots is metal and I'm soldering an earth wire to the back of the pots, but from now on I'm going to actually be physically screwing an earth wire to the shielding paint as well, because it doesn't hurt to do this. It's an insurance policy. Earlier on in this process, we went in with a Dremel and a carving tool to make a nice flat area for that. So I now think I've got all of the earth done. It's starring out from the pot closest to the bridge and then going to the bridge. You don't want to have a ground loop. I'm repeating this, I don't exactly know why, but you don't want to have a ground loop, which is where you've got ground going all the way around. That can, I think it can act as an antenna. Yeah, we're nearly there. Where are we? 8 hours and 17 minutes, 34 seconds worth of live streaming so far. So at this point, I'm just using Seymour Duncan's homepage. Seymour Duncan's is great. I'm going to be using red as the hot and obviously black as the ground. Fun. In the end, wiring a guitar it's a relatively easy thing. In all seriousness, it really is. If you can follow the diagram, you're sorted. You don't need to understand exactly what's happening. I sure as hell don't. And whenever you do something like that, always make sure to pick up whatever you cut off. So here's a box of capacitors, and that there is the one I want. Nope, no it's not that one. We're going blue. Most of the way there, let's get these pickups in there. Helping hands would have been useful. So the ground from both of the pickups is the shielding. That is going to the volume pot. The earth from the volume pot is going to the central pot. The tone, etc. going there. That's the live, which I think is connected to the correct one there. That is our ground. That's our live going out, which brings either or both pickups to the out, to the input of the volume, and the central lug is the output. Everything looks like it should work. I'm going to do the extremely confident thing and yeah, put the backplate on before we test the wiring. How's that? It's a little shiny, you can see there, and I'm just going to hit it with a super fine Fred rubber. I've wired the switch backwards. Hold on. Soldering iron back on, soldering iron back on. Abort, abort! Oh gosh. There we go. That's done. I don't have it shorting out on the switch body or anything like that. 8 hours and 55 minutes into the final live stream of this build. The guitar is done and dusted. So remember, I am not a musician, but I can certainly show you what this instrument will sound like. Basically, going through a Reggiani amp, very, very nice amps made in the UK. Volume up full, tone up full. Some rattle, I've got some buzzing in the strings. The guitar itself is as silent as the grave. Oh hell yes. Alright, bridge. Middle. Neck. And then you can roll the tone right off. Is that a perfect C? Perfect crimson C. Look, I mean, we've got a guitar, she plays. I'm really happy with the result. I'm even happy with the fact that by building this instrument, I have managed to raise a chunk of change for the British Red Cross and their Ukraine appeal. So that was the whole point when I started this one-day build. What has it been? 10 weeks? Something? I am so happy with how this has turned out. The guitar is done, the baritone is finished. We have raised some money for charity. I've built a baritone on the channel for the first time, and I've fallen in love with, well, I've fallen in love with it. But hey, at some point in the near future, this instrument is going to be going off to a new owner, and we're going to be starting a few new projects. I've got my Great Guitar build coming soon. That's going to be done on the live stream. I am going to be finally finishing the hand tool only build. That's going to be the main build for the foreseeable. And then after that, I'm going to start a watch inspired build, which is going to be fun because I'm going to be utilizing CNCs and laser cutters and modern technology and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, watch this space. check out Crimson Guitars Extras, where on Mondays I live stream a build almost every Monday, and Sunday evenings from 8 o'clock UK time, it's the Luthier's Question Time. If you haven't yet, click like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you don't want to, I respect that. Have a good week. See you soon. Yeah. All right. Do I have more of this hardware at the workshop? That's the thing. Because I need one. I really do.